line. Go, go, go. Low tire pressure.
Pit exit's clear. Push. The track temp is 30. The air temp is 24 Celsius. Your brakes are cold. Take it easy.
All right. You know what? I didn't check if my mic works. I hope my mic works. Oh, wait. I can just check like this. Oh, wait. I can just check like this. Nailed it. One of the nice things about doing practice is that I can just pause and check chat. These first few laps are going to be exclusively to find the pressures I need, and then we're going to get into the tire management business. I'm going completely crazy here. I'm like completely removing camber. That's not true. I'm just reducing it significantly. And toe is already zeroed out. I stiffened the front anti-roll a little bit. I could move the braking bias further back, but I really don't like it. I'm gonna actually just try to keep it at 58 and see if I can manage some kind of lap times. And I'll see about doing, hopefully I can do 30 laps tonight at some point, to see what I've learned. A, to see like how effective the setup changes are, but B, to see how much of a difference these the line makes, because I have essentially what I noticed. I looked at some of the telemetry from last night. I noticed that I was riding some curbs really bad, and I didn't realize that would cost me tire pressure, and that's why my right side was such a disaster, and to a certain extent my left side as well. But then by the end of it, my left side started overheating and overpressuring more as I was losing more and more rubber. Now what I think happened there is, as I was losing more and more rubber, I was sliding more and more. Sliding introduced heat, and heat got converted into pressure. Now I know these are not going to be good laps, but I just got to find the right I got to find a good pressures, and then I'll just start doing some of the laps I want to do. I need to really wear out the tires, like 30 laps worth of tire wear. I need to see if I'm still at 1.5, which is death, or if I can be slightly better than that.
You've just done a 203.02. Brake temperature's okay.
Innate tire management. Yeah, it's a crash course in how not to suck. And it's not really a crash course. There's no lesson plan. It's just, Ivan, stop sucking. I'm trying to learn how to take a better line, be more smooth on the inputs, start saving that extra 1% per lap. If I can do that, I'm well on my way. Oof. Last night was pretty rough, I'll be honest with you. The front left on Silverstone for me is a disaster. It heats up and then just melts and then disappears. I did pretty well. I ran my race last night for an hour. Traction control at maximum. You really think so? I can do it. Hold on. Did you only go back up one notch in the front bar? You running shallow toe? I hate Silverstone. So I'm running a bunch of shit. For this particular change, I'm just setting up the pressures, and then I'm gonna do like 30 laps on this. This change is insanely low camber. Instead of 4, which I use for qualifying, I'm down to 2. 0 toe. In the rear, I've got like 1.0 toe. I can put it to 2.0 just because the rear doesn't wear out as fast as the fronts. So I kind of want to wear them out faster so that the balance of the car stays the same. But it's not happening fast enough. Somewhere about 4 or 5. Yeah, so the reason I have traction control at 3 is because I don't mind the rear like spinning out a little bit and rotating the car extra, because the rear traction is not like I have way more I have way more rubber in the rear wheels than in the front. The front is where the issue is. So I'm like, if I slide out a little bit and rotate the car, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's probably kind of good actually, just to burn a little bit of extra rubber in the back, and keep the balance of the car the same. I think what I have to do is I'm gonna find something like, let's see, I'm driving with 4 ABS, right? So one of the things I'm gonna try to do is, let's say 30 minutes in, I'll switch to 5 ABS. Or maybe I should do it like 20 minutes in. 20 minutes in, switch to 5. 40 minutes in, switch to 6. And drive 6 until the end. Maybe at like 50 minutes, I switch to 7. Traction control, not too worried about. It's just, it always ends up being the fronts that push everything else through. And I'm not running as hot a track right now. Like, it's just cloudy. And I do I enjoy Silverstone. I just, the front left heating up is kind of a bane, especially since we're doing one stop in a 2-hour race tomorrow.
That lap was a
and I don't want to do any more than that, you know.
0.47 off your best.
These laps are definitely way too slow, but my pressures are also kind of shit right now. And Fly, to answer your question, so I moved the front anti-roll up to 6 instead of 4. I lowered camber to 2.0 instead of 3. This is compared to yesterday's race. Did I make any other adjustments? Oh, the spring rate, the front springs. I stiffened the front springs. Oh, okay. I stiffened the front springs and I increased rake. So I don't know the effect of that, right? Like, the stiffer front springs should give me a little bit of understeer compared to, you know, softer. More rake should give me more oversteer. So I don't know which one is worse for tire wear. Either way, I'm hoping that, like, I have enough front grip without using too much. Like, I don't know how to describe it, you know what I mean? I'm just trying things because I don't understand what's going on. I do know that I was doing 30-minute tests in my practice sessions, and I was down to, like, let's say 2.5 millimeters from 3 down to 2.5 in 30 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then I did a 1-hour race yesterday on the CP server, and I was at 1.5, like completely shredded tires by the end of the race. And I don't understand where it happened, and I can't look it up. I can take some guesses, but it feels like my tires disappeared around like the 45-minute mark or so. Beyond that, I was losing way too much time.
That puts you 0.8, slower than your best.
Did I bump something? Did I bump my front left? Pressure seems low. Okay, what do we have? Usually at higher TC does impede throttling too much, I find, but I am running hot laps all the time. I did, like, I maxed out TC on this car just to check it out, and it was a disaster. It was terrible. I don't know if 9, so I think that's 10 TC. I don't know if 9 is okay, is like vastly different. 8 felt okay. I used 8 in the rain, and it was like it felt pretty good in the rain. Braking will increase heat, push force into the front tires. Yeah, maybe higher ABS as tires wear out. Yeah, or brake early. Yeah, all of those things I kind of like I want to do, but I was really caught by surprise because I was running my race yesterday. It was 40 minutes or 45 minutes of like exactly what I thought was gonna happen, just slowly keeping steady with the pace, and then the tires just disappeared, and I was like, what? How? Like I felt like I was gonna have something left, you know. I felt like I was holding on to more, and that I maybe could have even been pushing extra. No, I was way off. I find even 3 TC in the dry is bad. I am now starting to run 2 or even 1. Hey Nox, how you doing, dude? So I'm gonna do some more gentle laps, very little curb, just to get the pressures, check the pressures to see if they're where I want them to be. Yeah, it's practice. I was supposed to do CP races tonight, but yesterday went so poorly, and I want to do, like, I want to be proud of how I run the race tomorrow. So I'm gonna put in some extra time tonight and see if I can figure some stuff out. And then we're back to the CP races. CP being competitive. They're just like, they're like ranked races, but it's not, they don't lead to anything. There's no like seasonal leaderboard or anything like that. It's just, at least not that I know of, but it doesn't matter to me anyway. Like I'm nowhere near that even appearing on that board. I just like it because it matters more than crashing in a random lobby, right?
1.3 off your best.
So like doing lobbies is fun, but then you're just gonna have people who don't give a damn and just like smash, right? All right, fine, but then your race is ruined, your fun is ruined just because someone decides that oh haha, I'm just gonna crash into people for fun. At least on the CP servers, you meet some really fast drivers. You can learn a lot from them and make some friends along the way. Yesterday I was riding T1 and T I guess 3. If this is T2, right, the left-hander, then T3 are where I was losing the vast majority of my pressure on the right side, the vast majority of my pressure on the right side, because I didn't realize that it would have that effect. So I cut that shit like I told Yogi, I cut that shit like it owed me money. Like I was trying to do the biggest cut that I could. I was trying to line it up to just ride the left side on the curb and the right side through the grass if I had to, right? Just cut through as much as possible. But apparently those bumps, they just did too much damage to the pressures. And then I tried to test what happens if, let's say, because what happened by the end of the race yesterday is my right rear, I don't know about the other ones, right? I can look it up, but the right side was in the 26 PSI zone, and the left front, while it was, you know, 27.7 for the majority of the race, or 27, you know, something, it started overheating. Like we're talking like, you know, 28.3 in the pressures. And I'm thinking that it was doing that because it got too hot, and it was getting too hot because there was no rubber left. It was just starting to slide everywhere. So sliding gets heat, and heat pressure, right? So I think that just screwed me up on the left. On the right, I lost all that pressure because I rode the curbs way too hard, and they just lost pressure. So I'm thinking there's a chance, which I want to test, but it's probably not a very big chance, but there's a chance that the fact that I lost pressure on the right side meant that I lost optimal grip on the right side, which means it's possible that I was wearing out my front left harder because there was less grip on the right. So it was just earlier to get to sliding, right? And I can't avoid destroying the front left, but I'm just trying to delay it. And if that delay, that timing didn't work out because of the right side losing pressure, then that's something I gotta fix. And now I realize I have to avoid that and stay on the, you know, maybe checkered part of it, and not hit the AstroTurf, or God knows what it's called. Like,
Sector 1 is 0.6.
just be cleaner through the whole thing. But the problem is now I gotta find the time that I lose by keeping that like safer line. I gotta find a better. I gotta find make up time somewhere else to continue, you know, to be able to run some good laps. And that's what I'm hoping to do today. Get some practice in. This is another corner I used to cut it like crazy, and I think that one back there is not that bad on losing my pressures, but I bet it doesn't help with tire wear. So I'm just gonna try to avoid it. Yesterday my like average performance race laps, right? I was hoping that I was trying and hoping that I could maintain 2 flat, which was a you know, a pipe dream, and otherwise 2 minutes and like a half second, right? That on average for my lap times. That's what I was hoping to do. And for the most part, I kind of was in that zone for the first 45 minutes, and then the tires were gone, and it was like, there goes all that time is just poof.
You've just done a 2:03.00.
I have to see if based on yesterday's disaster, I have to see how much time I lost by the end of the race, and then, you know, how much I could slow down today to still maintain the same overall race pace that I had yesterday, because that will be a good indicator of like how slow can my laps be to still finish the same shit that I did yesterday. I don't know. Like, at least it'll tell me how much I can slow down lap per lap. It's probably something like a half second per lap that I can slow down. I doubt that it'll be a full second per lap that I can slow down to maintain that overall overall time. I don't know. Also, I'm like, these are pressure finding laps, not my. It's kind of actually. I mean, I suppose it is kind of the racing line, but it's not the same push. I'm sort of like actively avoiding, slowly accelerating. I'm just trying to get the pressures exactly right before I start doing these laps. And the right side looks okay, I think. The left side might be a little hot. Front left might be a little hot. That's temperature, but also like I can lower that slightly. We'll check it out. I'll get into the pits.
What's your speed limit in the pits?
I think that would have been a drive-through. Okay, this track is relatively bumpy. I don't know if worn tires tend to slide on the bumps. Hey Fitzy, front toe is in 0. Yeah, front toe is in 0. Do you think you should take a breath? Yeah, they fly. Okay, I've been talking a lot. Gotcha. If you want to decrease the left side temps, maybe going for left asymmetrical setup on the suspension. Yeah, I'll show you the setup. Like I don't hide it because they're nothing special. They're either like you can either find them on YouTube or what I made is a piece of shit anyway, right? But I'm 0 on the toes, right? So like I am not losing rubber from toe, except in the rear I am. Camber is I quali with 4. I ran yesterday's race with -3 to save, and it was okay. Like, I mean, it didn't work out in the end, but it like my pace was doing pretty well, and the difference wasn't crazy between 3 and 4. So now I'm testing 2 to see how much I can save further, and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And then I did a couple other things, increased anti-roll slightly to the front, increased stiffness slightly to the front, and then a bunch more rake, and hopefully like they cancel each other out. I don't really know why. I'm trying to see if that has any kind of like beneficial effect. It's a test. We'll see. Okay. This is fine. I'll put 2 clicks here, 1 down. This is okay. I'll leave that. I'll click this one up. And I don't think the rear has an effect because we have full wing pushing the rear down. Yeah. The thing is, if I reduce the rear wing, what I'm thinking is gonna happen, right? I'll gain a little bit of top speed maybe, but I'll lose some traction on the rear at high speed anyway, or lose some grip in the rear at high speed, and so I'll get oversteer from that. Now it'll help me wear out the rubber in the back, but I don't see how it's gonna make me go faster, except the top speed. Prefer to have cornering speed anyway. Yeah, me too. Alright, what do we have here? So what? I've never seen this before. Oh my gosh, look. No, 2.0 is too little. You see this? Like the inside is wearing less than the outside. So my camber, I think I have to change it to like 2.5 or something. Because this isn't gonna help in any way. Like I think camber is just too low. And that's even on like the slow laps I was doing, right? Like I wasn't pushing, so I wasn't like stretching that suspension to the max. This is surprising that the inside here wears harder, but I mean it's fine. Like I don't care. I need these to wear, so I'm not gonna bother changing it. I need them. I need the rears to wear out faster so that they stay in line with this. I don't know what to do with this one other than like what do I do? Max out camber on the right side and hope that it like wears out as fast as this. I don't know. I don't know if that's a smart idea. Because the high-speed section isn't much at all when you are out of tires in the corners, it's okay to do asymmetrical camber. You can probably increase camber on the left. All right, so I'm definitely going to do 2.5 because I think it's I just like I think this is like I don't think the inside should ever wear slower than the rest of the tire. I think that's a camber issue that should be fixed. I don't think that should be something that like you would ever aim for, right? Like unless no, I can't think of a single time when that would make sense. Also, good news. The left shoulder I smashed in a scooter accident and started getting muscle again. Oh, I didn't even know you had a scooter accident. But that's good to hear that you're recovering. Still hurts now and then. Yikes. Oh, man. What else we doing? So we're going to leave the rears because F the rears. I'll leave this, leave that. I think I'm just going to start doing some laps. Oh yeah, the other thing I did is I loosened up, super duper loosened up the fast bumps because loosening up the dampers also helps reduce tire wear. So I kept these, the slow ones, I kept them the same, and the fast ones I reduced them entirely. We'll see what that does. I think I'm gonna put on some new tires. And we're gonna do at least 10 laps. I'm gonna try to push and hopefully see what kind of like reasonable lap times I can get. But there's a good solid chance that like my laps are not going to be reasonable. I'm gonna have the first 2 or 3 laps. The opening lap plus the one after, I think I'm just gonna take it slow, stay off the curbs, and not push very hard at all. I'm not sure how in-depth the game is, but rumble/ripple strips are not designed to be an extension of the track. They are there to help, but provide less grip and can create faster wear and also puncture sometimes on the outside edge if the tire and rim get pinched. ABS should help with brake lockup as well, so create less wear potentially. Yeah. So I think you're right, Fly. I think I'm gonna increase ABS as I go. So like I think I was saying, I'll do at 20 minutes, I'll increase it 1 tick. At 40, I'll do another. At 50, I'll do another. Right, and see if that helps. 3 years ago. Okay, you're going to work. All right, take it easy, Nate. Thanks for stopping by. So that's my plan with ABS. Traction control, I am not planning on doing anything because I think if I lose the rear, I think that's fine. And I'm like decent at recognizing it, so I don't think I'll like spin out and crash because of it. But I will lose some rubber because of it, and that's okay. The one thing that's sort of like not okay is if I start sliding the rear too much, I still won't catch up to the front tires in terms of tire wear, but I will lose a bunch of time on those laps where I start sliding out, right? So we'll see. If it starts happening too much, I'll turn up the traction control as well. But you know, just based on yesterday, I mean, I don't know how it is for tire wear, but I do know definitively that curbs are those like beyond the checkered you know, rumble strips or whatever. That you know, I lose a significant amount of pressure. Like you can see it in the data. It's like everything else is a smooth line going up and down, you know, based on which tires you're using. Pressure goes up and then cools back down as you start relaxing the tires. Except when you hit a curb, it's just like a step, just drops down, never to come back. I would start a race with ABS. It's not going to slow you down, but it will help with wear and keep the tires longer. So just start it with a higher ABS. How high? Currently it's at 4 out of 10. I already think that that's kind of high.
Sector 1's quick.
But I wasn't going to go lower for a race. I mean, I ran 4 out of 10 for qualifying, right? So like I'm happy with it.
Sector 2 time is okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna start pushing after this lap, and let's see where I can get these lap times to stabilize. Again, my line is no longer the one that I prefer, because the one I prefer includes a lot of cutting and rumble strips. So I'm learning as I go.
That was at 2:01.50. Sector 3 time is fast.
There's a bunch more time to be had there. You drive with it at 8. ABS will also help heaps with turn-in if you have understeer issues. Yeah, I don't though. But if you want, I can turn ABS up to 6 and let's see where that takes us. I just think 8 is too much. I think it'll activate in corners where I don't want it to. But maybe that's necessary. Maybe that's how I can keep my tires from exploding. There we go, 6 ABS.
Sector 2 time is quick.
Look at the front left. I think it's because I started pushing and I wasn't pushing before when I was setting up the pressures. So I think this is lap like 3. I'll do something like 10 laps, get me to lap 17 or so, and then revisit the pits.
The lap time was at 2:01.03. Sector 3 time is quick.
That was too much of a cut. That's the kind of shit that makes you lose pressure.
Sector 2 is 2/10 off your best. Your left front tyre is running hot.
Right side seems okay. Left side's a little hot. I think I'm gonna adjust those pressures.
Well done, mate. That's the best.
That was 2:00.9 seconds. Sector 3 time's okay.
Depending on how much you increased rake, all you did was potentially put more load in the front tires. I did, yeah, but I stiffened up the front springs, so that would have... I was afraid that that would reduce the amount of steering I have. So I wanted to... But we're going to see that after I come in after 10 laps. We're going to see what the tire wear is. 10 laps is 20 minutes. I'm still trying to, you know, the pressures aren't right, and I'm working on the line still, you know, like I need to, that's way too much of a cut, so that's how I lost pressures yesterday. And you can see it right away. Look at the, I think I dropped like what, 0.2 or 0.3 in the left, in the right front. Cut it too much, had too much of a bump.
Sector 2 is 2/10 off your best.
But I want to get these laps down to, you know, mid 2 minutes. If I can do a consistent like 206,
Last lap time was at
I think I'll take it.
2:00.7 seconds. That's your quickest lap in this session.
That felt like a good T1. Front left is running cooler. Yeah, it got down from 28.5, but it's still a little too hot, I think. I think I would like to see it something like, you know, 27.9 maybe at most. Oh my gosh, did you see that? Oversteer straight into a slide, and I think I got oversteer because I turned just at a bad time. I was right on the curb when I did it, and the car slid out. I bet I lost a bunch of grip for that. Sorry, I mean rubber.
Sector 2 time is good.
Few more laps. The other thing is that it would not be a complete waste of time for me to take the setup I ran yesterday in the race and run it with a better line and not losing pressures to see just how like it affects everything. I think that's probably exactly what I'm gonna do. Because I don't think Unless these laps in this setup give me some kind of mythical amount of rubber left on the tires, which I just don't see happening, right? Like minuscule adjustments, oh god, is as much as I'm gonna get, I think. Just like tiny amounts. So I think I want to run like yesterday's setup and try to get try to keep my like pressures safe, run the improved line, and see what the difference is in tire wear at the end of 30 or 31 laps or whatever. Oh, cooler, not pressure. Gotcha. The track is not the same temperature as it was for the race yesterday, though. I'm wondering, I should probably switch it to like sunny and warm, just so I can compare as much as possible apples to apples.
The lap time was 2:01.72. Sector 3 is 0.28. Up your best.
You know what? I like that idea. I'm gonna finish these 10 laps, and then I'm gonna switch. Oh shit! I didn't mean to switch down to 4th there. I'm gonna switch the track and load up yesterday's setup.
Watch the track limits, please, Ivan.
I would like to know how you would do in iRacing now. You have an idea of how to tune a bit. I am also curious. And I'm not in any way opposed to the idea of iRacing. I just want to find the right event to do, because I still want to play ACC. I think ACC is more fun than iRacing. I think iRacing is more serious, and that's fine. There's a time and a place for competition, you know. I mean, I seek out more serious competition in ACC, but to me ACC is still a game. You know, you can go into a lobby, you can pick a random car, random track, and just like start messing around. Whereas in iRacing, there's no such thing. There's no playing iRacing for fun. You're doing it to gain rating, to win, which means I can't do it like just push iRacing. I think I would like restrict it to 1 or 2 days a week or something, and hopefully have it be some longer races, because I would enjoy that more. And there are some events out there,
2/10 off your best.
but I'm not committing anything because I don't know exactly what times they run. And Quetz from my buddy from ASR, he's interested in doing it as well, so we might be able to do something like you know, he takes the first stint until my kids are in bed, and then I take over after, run the second stint. Like, I'm cool with that. I'm going way too slow now. But last lap
201.38. Sector 3 is 0.26, slower than your best.
It will be interesting to see where my tire wear is at now, you know.
Sector 1 is a 10th off your best. Sector 2 is 0.26 off your best. That was a 201.33. You're now 0.6 off your best.
All right. Let's see, what do we have? So, light grain. That's not good. This is in the... Interesting. So 2.5, 2.6. Oh my god, the inside is still wearing faster than the outside. So I think 2.5 camber is going to be out. Oh my god, I kept this at 2, I forgot. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I could try to... How do you feel, Fly? Because we can see the difference in tire wear, right? How do you feel about me making this an off balance, like... you know, 3.0 to save tires and 4.0 to wear out the fronts a little bit faster, just to keep more in line with these. But I know you're generally against asymmetrical setups. It might be worth a try. Okay, I think this is... Like, if I run this, it's gonna have to be 3.0. Should be fine. Yeah. I'm gonna leave these pressures the same. I think this one is a bit high. I'll leave it like that. Some tracks require a different setup. Yeah. I think this might be one of those like special cases, just because it wears out the front left so much that maybe you need to do something special about it. Okay, so I've changed that. I'm gonna save this as test 4. Normally on flat tracks you wouldn't do it, but on a mainly right-hand turn track it could work. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try it on this one, on this setup. So what I did here is I saw that it was high temperature, and I loaded up this one. I'm gonna delete this. I loaded up this, and this was definitely the setup I was running.
The track temp is 29. The air temp is 24 Celsius.
And I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the springs, the anti-roll, the dampers. I'm gonna leave all of that as they are, including the ride height. I'm gonna try to replicate as much as possible what I did yesterday, but I am gonna change this camber to learn. And now let's go do 5 laps to check out our pressures.
Green light. Give it all you can.
I'm gonna leave the
track temps are
ABS
increasing.
at 4 as
Temperature's
well.
now 30. The track temp is now 37 Celsius. We need to get some heat into these brakes.
Gonna get these pressures right, and then start the ungodly 30 lap test, because clearly 15 laps that I'd done a few times before that wasn't enough. Need more than 30-minute tests to have predict. Oh, wait a minute. The camber, that's hilarious. The camber is pulling me slightly to the left. Ever so slight. Like, the one thing I didn't want to do when checking out my pressures is hit a big curve like that. The physics in this game must be pretty lifelike if you lose pressure over ripple strips. Yeah. It doesn't happen every time. I think it depends on impact and if you're on throttle or not. Because I feel like, and also definitely how much your the state of your suspension at the time of impact. If you're vastly on the other side, leaning on the other side, your wheels can just like hobble over, and you don't even feel it. But sometimes if your line is not exactly right, you can feel that impact. And there are, come on, again I did it. There are also bottoming out issues just on the track, but they don't affect, I checked the data, they don't affect the pressures. Not even a small amount. But it was weird to see, like, in the telemetry to be like, oh, I think I bottom out here. Let's go to the replay. So I load up the replay, go to the timestamp or whatever. I try to find exactly where on the track it was, and I watch my suspension just on the track. Boom, boom, bottom out.
The last lap was at 2:01.40. Brake temperatures look good.
That front left is running hotter already. Yeah, for sure. The pressures aren't right. This setup was not made for. I haven't changed the pressures at all, right? I'm just doing the lines, but definitely the setup will be running hotter in the front left temperature wise.
Your left front's hot. Sector 2 time is quick.
Yes, it is hot. Also, the track temperature is like 5 degrees hotter. Sorry. The ambient temperature is 5 degrees hotter. The track is like 10 degrees hotter. Because I was on cloudy and I put it up to sunny. So this is kind of like the worst conditions for my tire wear. The cooler it is, the better.
Last lap time was at 2:01.36. Sector 3 time is quick.
You can just pause it. You did really well yesterday and the race was great, but finding a balance between quali setup and a race setup is the difficult part that requires lots of practice. Yeah. Yeah, lots of things just that I don't like remember to do, because I'd never think to do it until I notice that like there's something wrong. And yesterday, very clearly, I remember, oh no, my pressures, you know, my camber is different, my toe, my brake bias. My guesses were pretty good, in all honesty, right?
That lap was a 2:01.09. Good lap. That's your quickest today. 2/10 off your best in sector 1. Sector 2 time is good.
Alright, this is last lap. Let's head into the garage. Okay. 2 down. I'm gonna run these a little hot. Pressured. I think let's check it out. Crazy toe and camber. On the right side, the right front. I don't know if I should do this. Okay, all right, screw it. I'll test this. I'll leave the toe at 0. I don't want to make the car just unstable and hard to drive. One camber is already slightly pulling to the left. And that's fine. It's not enough to make me have to think about it ever. You can just notice it on the straight. Car just slowly, by the end of the straight, you can see that it's turned to the left slightly, and you're like, oh. I think pressures are kind of where they are. Okay, here we go. I think I'm gonna do 30 laps now. That's an hour. And it's going to be an hour of pushing to try to get 2005. That's what I'm trying to do. Do it.
All clear on pit exit, you can push now.
First.
You've got cold brakes all round.
Yeah. First few laps, gonna chill out. And by few, I just mean like first 2 laps. Chill out, try to stay reasonable, gonna stay on track. Don't want to slide. Tires are cold, we don't want any graining now. That's how you die. Jeebers. Have Have you gotten any better? I am currently running my yesterday's setup, but the correct line where I don't cut as much, end up running slower. I'm trying to find time through that correct line, and I want to see if my pressures stay intact after 30 laps. How do things look, or am I still dead at 40? Nothing. Excellent. Doesn't matter, you're gonna have to run with my setups anyway, so whatever you do, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna listen to you. That felt so smooth, I don't think I'll ever get that line going again.
Brake temps look good. Sector 2 is 0.35, slower than your best.
Instantly hot. And remember, it's the temperatures on the track. This is like as hot as it's gonna get. Oh shit.
Sector 3 time is fast.
This is as hot as it's gonna get, really. Which is the worst conditions for us, but it's also the worst conditions for everyone, I think. Oh shit. That was a deep cut and I lost some pressure for that, I'm sure.
Sector 1 time is good.
Pressure in the front right is just, it's gross.
Sector 2 time is okay. That was a 201.20. Sector 3 is a tenth off your best.
Rear left is getting, yeah. Can't believe in like the first 3 laps I already lost my front, right?
Sector 1 time's okay.
I mean, it'll be fine if I can keep it like this for the rest of the laps, but I mean, how quickly it happens. Jeeves, if there's ever rain,
Just done
like proper rain,
0.7 seconds.
on this track,
Sector 3 time is quick.
don't touch the curbs at all, like not even slightly. When I did my testing, the few laps that I did, like a gentle clipping of the curb instantly spun the car in the opposite direction.
Track limits, this lap will be deleted.
My computer just chugged, I don't know why. The yeah, don't touch it. On the right, obviously, because you're gonna lose pressure, but on the left, yeah, it's gonna turn you. And you'll see, like, if it's wet, you'll see right away, as soon as you touch it, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what happens. You can recover, but you're like, there is no benefit to getting close to these. There's only risk. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what happened this lap, why I'm a second down. I have an idea though for T1. I think I'm feeling myself slide out. I'm gonna have to get good and like hit the brakes earlier, but not turn in.
Okay, Ivan, we need to watch these track limits.
I got a message on Discord from SimGrid saying the event is starting soon. I freaked out. It's definitely tomorrow. I'm gonna add another overlay. Good enough.
Sector 2 is 0.38.
I changed my mind. I'm going to increase ABS every 5 laps. Every 10 minutes, I'm going to pop it up 1.
Track limits, keep it within the lines.
I'm nowhere near my lap times, and I'm not very happy about it, I'll be honest. I wish I was closer.
Sector 2 is 0.40 off your best.
Ooh. Little gung-ho on throttle there.
Well, that was at 201.44. You're currently 0.7 slower than your best. Sector 2 is 0.37 off your best. Your lap time was at 201.83. Sector 3 is a tenth off your best.
Oh man. The only way this experiment can be salvaged is if I continue to run these exact times for all 30 laps. I just don't see it happening. Because I'm so far behind, like nearly a full second on average.
Time was 201.81. You're now 1.1 off your best.
That was nice. ABS up again.
Sector 2 is 0.6, slower than your best. That lap time was 2:01.86. Sector 3 is 0.33, off your best.
At least I'm learning how to take T1 better, I think. There is that. Maybe instead of a practice session, you could have done a single player quick race to simulate conditions better, maybe. What difference would it have made between this and quick race? I mean, it would have been more exciting to watch, that's for sure.
40. Sector 3 is 0.
Not gonna argue that.
Off your best.
Ten laps down, 20 to go. Gotta do it. Gotta learn. Even if there is no change, I gotta know. Trap rubbering up with other cars' conditions may be optimal or different. I mean, when we were racing yesterday, they stayed on optimal the whole time.
Sector 1 is 0.
But you're right, the
3-2,
rubbering
off your
up,
best.
I don't know if that makes, I don't know what kind of difference that makes. What is a jamoke? What is a jamoke?
time was
motherfucker.
201.74. Sector 3's 2/10 off your best.
Didn't know. Didn't known that was the message I was gonna get. If I could run 200/700s, I'd be happy.
Sector 1 is a 10th off your pace. Mind these track limits, please, Ivan. Sector 1 is 2/10 off your best. Sector 2 is 0.9, slower than your best.
ABS
You've
7.
just done a 202.00. Sector 3 is a 10th off your best.
Take a look in the mirror.
Sector 1 is 2/10 off your best.
Hey Google, shuffle Queen. Hey Google, set the volume to 50%. The world inside out.
Sector 2 is 0.7 off your best.
Hey Google, set the volume to 45%. There's no stopping me, burning through the sky.
That lap was at 2:02.32. Sector 3 is 0.7, slower than your best.
Don't wanna stop at all. A collision course. Nope. I got an atom bomb. A good time. I think you stick to driving, but instead of singing,
35 Celsius.
fuck out of here. I have a majestic voice. My mom told me.
That was at 2:02.86. You're currently 2.1 off your best.
Oh god, is this ever gonna end? I'm not even halfway, am I? Shit, I am halfway. Thank God.
You're outside of track limits there.
Mom's outside of track limits, James. We will rock you. We will rock you. Fuck. Shit.
Sector 1 is 0.47 off your best.
Shit. Dynamite with a laser beam, guaranteed to blow your mind. Shit. Same address.
Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds off your best.
So we are not quite 40 minutes into the
Was
race.
at 2:02.80. That puts you
My-
2.1. Slower than your
I'm like
best.
2 seconds behind on my whatever fast lap I put in, which is not even fast. Even that fast lap was slow. Pressures are survivable.
Sector 1 is 0.44 off your best.
This could be a mistake. Hey Google, stop.
That lap was at 2:02.07. You're now 1.4 seconds slower than your best.
Okay, so it looks like maybe with a bit more care, at 40 minutes, I'm 1 second behind. Not necessarily 2. Looks like the 2-second runs are when I make mistakes. So just not allowed to make mistakes, I guess. But even still, like... 10 laps to go.
That lap time was 2:01.84. Sector 3 is 0.2 off your best.
This is when... Around here is when the drop-off started happening in the previous race. Like the last... Specifically the last 7 laps, I believe, was a grip disaster. But I had already much more severe PSI issues by this point. The other race. So it's good to see that at least we've fixed that problem by avoiding the curbs.
Sector 2 is 0.6 off your best.
Old man body. Old man body can't handle.
That last lap was a 2:02.44. That puts you 1.7 off your best. Sector 1 is 0.32, slower than your best. Okay, Ivan, you need to watch the track limits.
Okay, front left is heating up just like before.
Sector 1 is 0.30 off your best. You've gone outside of track limits there.
Track limits are more of a guideline anyway, like, who really pays attention to them? If Verstappen doesn't have to pay attention to track limits, then neither do I. Too much? Oh, that one's gonna... That one will cause pressure, but luckily we're at the end of the race. This is so boring. And I'm just doing it to learn. And I don't think I'm gonna learn anything.
Sector 2 is 0.9 off your best.
All right. That's the last ABS adjustment.
That was at 202.90. Sector 3 is 0.30 off your best. Mind these track limits, please, Ivan.
You got it, Jimmo. An AI race with maxed out ability and aggression would have been fun. Yeah, I agree. I think I'll do that in the future. It definitely seems like there's more grip left in these compared to yesterday. Question is how much more. And I feel like even with this more grip, I think yesterday I was quicker. Like my times now are probably catching up to my ghost from yesterday, but I think that ghost is 20 to 30 seconds ahead.
Sector 2 is 0.9, slower than your best.
Back is killing me. I don't know how to fix that.
Your last lap time was at 2:02.16. Sector 3 is 0.30, off your best. Sector 1 is 0.30, slower than your best. Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds, off your best.
I don't remember if this lap was a mistake or if now my tires are gone. Because it'll be 2 seconds by the time I finish across the finishing line. Starting line, start finish line. You get what I'm saying? .6. Alright, there's still some grip.
That was a 2:02.38. Sector 3 is a 10th off your best.
Keep it together, Ivan. Just a couple more laps. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an extra lap and I'm gonna turn off the ABS down to 4. See how much it's affecting the lap time. At least see if I can get like a hint of how much it's affecting the lap time.
Sector 2 is 1.1 seconds off your best. That lap time was 2:02.71. You're currently 2.0 off your best.
Okay, this is the second last lap. Well, I'm gonna do it just next lap. If they're gone, they're gone.
These track limits.
Hey Yogi, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to deal with these this tire wear. I don't know how to manage it. So I did a thing where I'm a lot slower, but I feel like I have more rubber left. It's gonna be the last lap here, so let's check it out. Did you do the CP race? Where was it? At Snetterton? How'd it go? Oh, I see. All right. What have you been up to then?
Sector 1 is 0.48 off your best.
It's a hard pass. All right. But how will you learn the track if you don't go race? It seems definitely to be beneficial to increase ABS as I go, because I'm like having mini slides. No, I'm done. I just did an hour and I am through with Silverstone. I am very tired of this track. I mean, that's not true. I love the track. I am just very tired of not doing very well. I can't figure out the tire wear, like how to get better at it.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's not a bad track, don't get me wrong. I do like it. Oh. I might have a flat spot on one of my tires. We'll just have to do better in the second half of the race. That's right, Jeeves. When you take over, show me how it's done. We still killed them. We still murdered them. They're better than yesterday, but they are still dead. Although grain is light and it is not severe, which it was yesterday. So we've got that going. But look at this. We started from the from the get-go, we were not quick. A solid second behind, and then that just grew. But at the very least, the last laps we did, where I think we're like, what, 1.5 to 2 seconds behind? 2 seconds behind. As opposed to in the race yesterday where we were like, what, 8 seconds or something? Still though, I think overall time yesterday was probably quicker. Last night, every single right-hand turn I did, I had in my head, baby the tires. I would go in a bit slower, turn in very gradually, and nail the exit. Yeah, I wish I could do that too. 1.6 is... this is better, but it's not good. There's no... that's not going to fix our problems. Bring out that telemetry. Where was... wait, what am I doing? Date time, yeah, that's the one. Okay, so this one, I believe. We'll load this and we'll load this. Open. So I see in my times... what screen am I on? Temps. Yes, okay. Zoom out. And what do I see? Where are these the pressures? Sorry guys, you just talk amongst yourself for a while. Yeah, the other team. Okay. So big PSI drops, got it. Okay, so this is the end, the last 20 laps of the CP race last night. We were running 201, mid 201s, a few flat 201s, and then the last 5 laps were 202s. And then compare that to today. We were running 202s way earlier. Yeah, this is not an improvement, what I just did. It is not an improvement. And all I did was I kept the same setup and I drove the line that would give me less what's it called, pressure loss by going over curbs. That's all I was trying to do. And I managed it. I had much better pressures by the end of it, but I was going slower the whole time through because of that line. So I gotta figure out something. I gotta I just don't know what to do. And the first part, the first like what 15 laps of this? No, the first 10 laps of this of the CP race last night are not even on here, and they were all like sub 201. Is it higher? I thought it was higher, but not. I didn't think it was quite a bit. But I mean, fair enough. I still don't think that what I did today was an improvement. What I wanted to check out something from yesterday. Oh, that's right. Okay. So maybe I can take some liberties. It looks like my biggest pressure losses are in T1 and I believe T3. Right? And that happens like on a pretty regular basis. So maybe all I have to do is avoid those specific ones and ride the curbs on the rest of them. Just like pretend that it's okay and that's normal and that's people do that. Obviously random mistakes, hope to eliminate those as much as possible. I mean, that's going to be my next strategy, and for as far as I can tell for right now, that's my best plan is to use the same setup that I had the other day, and instead of driving the line that does not hit the curbs, I will just avoid T1 and T3. T1 and the first corner going into the S's. And because that's where I lost most of my pressure. That way at least I get to keep the pressure and I get to take shortcuts wherever else I can manage. Maybe get a better lap time. Maybe try to... I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, Motec. Specifically at the pressure graph, you can see when it just like drops down like a step. It drops down like a step. Where like I hit a curb and it just lost pressure, never to return again. There's a lot of bumps that I hit and a lot of like suspension bottom outs, like big suspension travel that doesn't affect pressures at all. One of the places where I bottom out on the regular basis is very strange. Is, you know, after the S's, there's that long straight. Going into that right-hander, right at or maybe just before the braking zone on the left side, there's a bump, bottom out every time, the rear end. And sometimes it just so happens that I also start braking at the same time. I don't know if that like has a detrimental effect. Maybe I lose some rubber there, but it is what it is. It's very strange though that there would be like a bump so severe just there. Oh, you've never used it? It's free. There's simple tutorials on YouTube on like how to use it. Not like it's not very complicated. It can be overwhelming at first if you don't know what, like if you just like load it up and you don't know what to look at or look for. I mean, I don't either, but I've got a couple views set up where I can understand like tire pressures. I can understand that. Temperatures also, like I get it. Simple enough. But then they have like, you can look at gears, brake and throttle application. Like that tells me nothing. I don't understand. Steering angle? Why would I want steering angle? How is a steering angle graph going to help me? What information? Is it going to tell me I'm turning too far? Actually, I suppose that it would do that. So let's see. The left-hander, yep, that makes sense. That got to turn there. And this one, that's the hairpin. Yeah, that makes sense. This one, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, none of this is all nonsense. I can't make use of that. Forget about it. Haven't looked at tire pressure? Mostly use it to compare your lap to the Coach Dave laps. Oh, you can load up the like a comparison lap from Coach Dave. That's pretty good. Oh. I don't know where to get those comparison laps. Unless do you sub to the Coach Dave website and you get their tunes and stuff as well? I usually try to YouTube mine and try to just make something on my own, modify it in a way that makes sense to me. But I only started doing that recently because before I started playing ACC, I had no idea what tuning was, how to do it, what any of it means. Yeah, I bet they do. I bet those guys do a pretty good job of setting them up. With the BMW, I'm kind of lucky because it's such a popular car. You can find tunes on YouTube. You pop them in and you drive around for a little while and you're like, yeah, okay, this makes sense to me. And then you just go with it. Oh, okay. So let's see, lap 7, we had ABS in some places. Then we turned it up a bit and up a bit and very interesting. As I turned up ABS over the course of the various different laps, a lot of them, like it didn't start activating a crazy amount. That high ABS, it's really not a crazy amount of activation. There's at least one lap. Yeah, it's exactly the same as ABS 4, meaning my driving is kind of similar. Huh. Oh God! All right. Well, I'm never doing that again. I think the next time that I decide to do something stupid like do an hour test on a track, I'm gonna at the very least have some AI help me out. Just for funsies. Okay. Well, I have a tentative plan for tomorrow, which is to go soft into T1 and T3. Not make any crazy cuts, like out of the norm, but then still just approach the other turns fairly aggressively. And I don't know. Think about it. Okay. Mind numbing. Yeah, no kidding. It's so tough. It was so boring. At least I didn't crash. That was good. Oh man, I am so tired, you guys. What is wrong with me? Am I an old man? Am I Grandpa Ivan? All right. I'm gonna call it quits. I don't know if there's anyone else there that we know, but last I checked, it was 17 people. Track. I mean. "19 out of 30. Crashing shenaniganry. It'd be a good time either way. I wish that I could figure out this like tire wear. Passing out. Oh yeah. My mic was too far. I was saying, there's 19 teams. It's going to be a good and exciting race. I wish that I could figure out the tire wear issue better, but I bet the experience of driving tomorrow is going to help a long way. And it's going to be just muscle memory and experience, I think, over time. For now, I'm going to call it quits. And I bid you adieu. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Ciao. Mwah. Bye.